Good morning, good evening, good day. Hello everybody, I am Tashi and I am here with Quill.
Sure are, and I really get a kick out of your new splash page. From the last time I saw it, I think the Discord at the corner's new.
It's not that, it's just on... You suddenly appeared for no reason.
Flash.
Flash!
It's not entirely inappropriate to have him on the screen for this arc.
I mean, it is not Discord, but somewhere.
Uh-huh.
In this
Same
time
race,
period...
same race at least, and you predicted it possibly is the same individual too. Just
Yeah.
an earlier version of him.
In this time period, Discord is not coding Tumblr. Tumblr is coding Discord. So, we are ready to see the way of the land. The way of the earthbound. If they are willing to share. Or are they gonna be like, telling just, oh, do you know the way? No, you don't know the way. Which one of them would be more willing to actually talk the earthbound? Most of them are earthbound, even though there are some unicorns down there now.
Huh. Got a point. You know, that didn't occur to me that there's no Earth Bunny in the party right now. That would have been the Doctor, but he's not here.
You know what? I said it last time as well. It's gonna be Nerfy.
Okay.
Nerfy is the only one that they won't feel like that. Ah, they are way above our heads. They don't think that they are too smart, too strong, or too wise.
What about Daring?
So Daring too is an adventurer. They will see that, yeah, that's a strong individual, that person is not part of the Earthbound. Just like Starwing. They seem too powerful. But we will see. We will see. Let's see. Let's see if I can find anything good for the music.
Well, it just as a tip, this story is going to start off on the floating thing of those above. If that helps you out, then there you go.
I mean, we can keep this until we find what kind of team we are having.
Okay.
Hot done. The way of the land. That's what let me move my microphone a bit closer. There we go.
You're not a little off center with the camera?
I always am. You know me.
You had the most success fixing that by doing it digitally.
Yeah, this is better. There you go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Item to the side. The TARDIS crew are standing on near the edge of a massive platform, which leads outside the flying pyramid. Furthermore, if it were not for force field, which is only intermittently visible, and the test bed and floating two-dimensional pattern of hexagons. Nothing else would prevent them from stepping off the ledge and into a massive dome beyond. Good thing they are in a video game. There is much of a attached to this party, since they can all float or fly in sufficient. Funny how we literally said that there are no Earth points in the team.
Yeah. For now.
When they first arrived at this pyramid, they seemingly almost crashed into a wall. The sun transported somewhere inside of it. Ah, so there are actually glitches in this game as well. Heading here now, some of them wonder why this didn't happen to them again near Earth. They had to turn this edge this time, and now they are standing behind a semi-transparent barrier, which marks the outer edge of the giant structure. They were expected here by Commander Alexis himself, who was also flanked by a pair of identical-looking ground unicorn stallions in metal armor that accurately exposed with a glow into the bottom of the armor. Why do I have a feeling of dread, like Fallout?
Tell you what though, identical looking stallion guards of some kind of reminds me of tradition from Princess Celestia's castle. For the longest time, so many of those guards looked totally identical.
I mean, when you say identical-looking soldiers, one very different thing comes into mind.
What's that? That might explain your dread too. But I tell you what, the clone troopers weren't that bad.
I mean, it is kind of similar to the metal armor in Fallout as well. Now that I think about it, just a little bit smaller.
The stormtroopers though don't have glowing parts to them, and that would sort of make sense. I mean, what would the purpose of that be? Make them easier to target?
I mean, maybe?
It's probably not this extreme, but you might think a little closer to something like the movie Tron, where they did have glowing lines around their bodies.
No, there is only glowing part in that. There is no armor, only glow.
Yeah. Actually, I think some of them did have armor in those movies, and they glowed too. I think it was a reddish color in the first film.
Yeah, I was more liking armor of this type.
That type, ooh. Oh yeah, that thing's ready for battle.
The super power armor, which actually has some of them actually have light outside.
It's kind of like the smallest version of a mech suit.
Yeah, it is. I just realized something. I do analysis while initially looking off the edge of the platform, when I looked back at Commander Alexis. As we were rapidly flying here before, Morgan mentioned that she needed to commune with something called the Authority. I had wondered, ever since then, if we would ever meet this Authority too. Except now, they started agreeing with me that we might have already. She was referring to you, wasn't she, sir? I'm assuming the Authority is not one person. It's a whole group. Never there that the title goes to Commander Alexis growing calmly. TARDIS crew has yet to ever see this particular pony in a good mood. Throughout the over narration, he said, I am about the closest thing to that you will ever encounter in this society, which in my opinion is sad. Compassion can be very important in a society, and an alternative figure can help keep them organized. This is particularly crucial when there's a crisis situation. This literally is what Luna said before becoming Life and Moon. And that part is actually canon, if I remember correctly. That's the reason that we agreed with accepting none. Except, in this case, this reality seems so powerful and technologically advanced that it seems they can afford to relax with authority and security. Why should every citizen care? But apparently, only substantial can ever seemingly threaten them. You are 100% correct. But it is not true. Because we have been told that some of the chaos creatures have been gotten inside and even taken lives.
You know that Sternwing is very serious when it comes to security, but what she said there is her understanding of their perspective.
Yeah. If Starwing had to choose between Luna's policy and Celestial policy, he would probably choose Luna's.
Okay.
Of the militaristic, very strict country.
You don't have the same opinion about Featherwind, right?
No,
Okay.
Featherwind and Starwing literally two sides of the same paper.
Okay.
Which is why they fit together so well. Because they are not the same.
Okay.
Which means they are all the more close fast moved when something finally does threaten them. Commander adds bitterly, that's what he said. Something in the system needs to change, eventually, and I'm pushing for it. With all of you have, there might be an alternative avenue to have as well. I have always been a supporter of the policy of teaching to a pony to fish, rather than just hoofing them on. And that's disturbing. I mean, yeah. It's just more practical. I will, of course, defend the defenders when and if it ever becomes necessary. Be careful when you say that, because this might actually suggest that you are willing to go against reactions. And they might not like that.
Well, take a look at the other half of the sentence.
But it is better tactic still to teach others to defend themselves, so that they are less vulnerable than all. After all, I can be everywhere at once, and I will eventually have to move on. Think of that. What is the next step? Then checks with the commander. If there were only partial opening in this barrier, my teammates and I can make our way to the land below. Really? Commander asked with curious and surprised look for the first time. I only see some of you off your side. Can the rest of you teleport? I mean, this is a valid question. But don't you actually need to know where you are teleporting to?
I would say typically, usually yes, but otherwise, where would you teleport if you're not visualizing another destination? And if you haven't been there, how do you visualize it?
Random teleportation.
Oh, there you go. That might be fun. Maybe that's a concept that Discord would be quite familiar with. Random teleportation.
It's all fun and games until these things happen. And those things can happen without randomness.
You were done with that paragraph.
I can carry everything, but I can also float slowly in normal force field. When I do, I can carry others too when necessary, and avoid collision at the same time. It's actually akin to something Margaret employed earlier, but I can go anywhere. I can't go anywhere near that fast. Good thing you mentioned that, because this way Halloween doesn't have to pull out the ace in the sleeve.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I can't either. Halloween mumbles so quietly that only Starwing beside him managed to hear it. He then looks up at Starwing and says to her in the same volume. Remember when I quickly flew us to the temple, but we didn't and her mother was? But that is for not pulling out the ace in your sleeve.
Well, he did say it quietly. Only she's hearing it right now.
Ah, same volume. Uh, wasn't Rex's half cyborg though?
Well, he's definitely part cyborg, yeah.
Then I assume he is everything.
He just might.
As far as me to move out with the wind force so fast and strong that it would have thrown up a building if he had also flown at a low enough elevation. Maybe if I could have flown also a little faster. If it weren't for the fact that the speed alone would help off a high due to the sheer friction traveling at the speed would cause. That's another problem with Margaret's spell or technology, though, because her barrier magic is providing a buffet. Buffet?
Well, it's like a buffet. That means basically a barrier.
Yeah, I would probably call it a buffer. But, yeah.
Maybe you're right. Actually, but that'd be better if way to put it. I know that's the only time that word appears in this document, so that'll be easy to find by searching for it alone. So I'd only have to change the T to an R, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll make it more clear. What does it say in that?
What? This is unreal. I'm trapped. Would it be more astute designed to withstand such friction? Having classically proposed to a social such a friend. I think that is the point of the wonderful Paris outfit outside of style. And also why Paris and to wear Google. You don't have to travel anywhere near that kind of speed. Objection? Rainbow Dash. Remember, she broke the sound barrier multiple times without wearing that. Maybe, but you remember how it was difficult to read while we traveled that fast. Or maybe remember how difficult it was to just read on the mountain. And I was literally giving you extra oxygen.
I don't think I've ever experienced that, to be honest, but I do know how difficult it is to breathe if you stick your head out the window while a car is driving at high speed. The air is passing you so fast it's hard to grab it.
I mean, even while on a plane, you still feel it. Not as much as if you were actually flying without being inside of a plane, but hey, how about this large fan? While others around them continue to talk. It's your specialty. Maybe you can create a globe of calm air around the head. Wing checks. Yeah, and all your body is moving while your head is staying in one place. First, what does you slow us down? Our organization was most focused on getting us to the temple as quickly as they could, due to the informed identity. And it was, I only had to create a bit of windscreen ahead of us, to let us hide from being observed. We really about running that fast. In fact, that is still the fastest I have ever flown to reach on my own power. And they have not broken the sound barrier at that time, I think.
They probably did, actually, to travel across the whole world that fast. When you're traveling so fast, you'll actually destroy buildings if you're flying at low altitude. Um, that's like hurricane force.
Yeah,
And its speed is what's causing that, so, um, now he probably was flying many times faster than the sound barrier, but he's saying that even that could not keep up with Margaret's force disk, and even if it could, she does it better because that barrier just makes them immune to the wind friction. They don't even feel the motion, in fact,
and
which is a little
also,
weird.
it doesn't require energy, and it's not from a feather wind.
When they're standing in Margaret's force barrier, it's almost like they're standing in their own separate dimension, similar to the TARDIS. And that's what it would take in order to feel no motion at all, no matter how fast you go.
I mean, I did compare the bomber shield to the TARDIS as well.
There
I
may be
even
some truth to
considered
that.
Morgan being a time traveler.
Perhaps she was amazed at seeing other time travelers.
I mean, the doctor would be amused as well.
Okay.
The seven gives her a friend a little nod in acknowledgement that isn't paying attention to others. I mean, remember how he met the master? He
You're
wasn't
talking
like, oh, wait, it's another time traveler.
about?
Yay.
Okay.
So he was surprised as well. Especially because he told us everyone is dead. But I shift quickly back and forth to each body talking in the effort to quickly get back up to one day I saying again. Besides her, there been not much of the same, except he is not lost due to the fact that he is partially paying attention while the others were talking. I mean, he has been practicing doing this, talking to someone somebody while actually listening to someone else. That's
So
Crystal Sage.
that and the fact that he was trained to concentrate, uh, even while distracted,
Yeah.
it might have helped a little bit for him to training into multitasking.
Well, fortunately for you, I wish I knew all the alternative. One the vaccine applies to your totality not command. All of research should be showing up soon. She'll take you wherever you will need to go. Is it the first time we see her last name?
No, no,
No.
but it's not. It's not been said often.
Hmm. Now the question is it vessel or vessel?
think it's Wessel.
Most have double meanings. That's why I'm questioning. Whoa! Hold it! There are new objects with a lift or wing. There, hold it. You said you didn't want to untamed civilians out there. Why assign her to us? No. Because she is not an untamed civilian. She is a civilian, but not untamed. And it's your punishment for her to reporting to you late? The PS is concerned. Then the flashing to give fellow players to smile a look. You know that possibility didn't occur to dying until they said it. Then look back, writing that possibility is not likely for Commander Ware's point of view. What's the essentially response anyway, just in case. Punishment! Ha! Commander Ware's is scoffed. If anything, she may consider this assignment a reward. And she certainly deserves it. What's here? This is her opinion. Opinion?
The fact that being assigned to them would be she would find pleasant.
Oh? The PS is told that it's a prize. Why you lost yourself of idiots, as I've told us. Commander Mercy's explained. Some of you are most, and all of you is at least one of those categories. I mean, in this case, all of them are idiots, as I've told us. I would say
that they're native to this world, except for Dr. Kelly. But they are all
wait, so they are not an alternate planet?
They are not on another planet, but they're on the same planet, very distantly in the past, in a different area of the world. It's probably not Equestria.
So then there is a big question still leading in the air. What happened to the Magi?
Oh yeah.
Where did they go? Because they are not here with Celestial being there. Or are they there?
Yep. Yeah, how did they get there? If this is their native world, for Featherwind and Daring Do and all that.
Because the water world was definitely a different planet.
Correct, it was.
And the Magi got there somehow. Throughout time.
Well, they said it themselves. They used to be enslaved by the Time Lords, and they moved all over the place in time and space.
Yeah. It's very true that we are on a different planet. Maybe she would consider this assignment a privilege. So you can all rest easy, knowing this is most certainly not against her will.
I'd like to quickly remind you of something. They really came to this area and time to seek out an extinct cure that used to be native to their world. That really should have been your first clue that they never left their home planet.
I mean, the TARDIS just went wherever they needed to go. That doesn't mean that they stayed on the same planet.
Well, a plant's existence in some other planets is generally not known anywhere on the Equestrian world. This is a sample that Daring did know about, so it used to be native to the world.
Oh good! Luffy says happily. Then I am 100% behind this plan then. But I stand to be convinced, and I am the team leader. The new content, my saying in the commander sharply. The only thing you told us so far is why you will be willing. You have failed to explain why you are assigning to us. So whatever with us. What's the deal here? Do you simply want somebody among us? So you can spy on us?
So I think whatever you're about to post up has something to do with the words "among us" and "spy."
No.
It's a secret to everyone.
A spy would imply some thought, so the top isn't quite clear. What is it? But I implies inside comments and questions. Though it's true, I know we share her among you. So I can deep tabs on your progress. I'm making no effort to hide this fact. I want your compassion, and for that, I need to have your respect and trust. To that end, I am being transparent here with you all about my methods and tactics. Mind you, the same applies here in the reverse. If need me, any of you can also communicate to me through Margaret. As long as she and her resources remain loyally beside you. So, Richard, if there is any urgent situation that comes up, you can use her to contact me, and I will send whatever resources I can spare. Perhaps eliminate your problem. Commander reactions, we will need 2 atomic bombs. Let you to know that we send around. But she partially goes up with the convention at this point. There you told her that she has access that you will remain at your disposal, as well as remain at your disposal as well, for as long as she interacts with you all. The commander adds a bit more brightly. For instance, she can send transport you down from here. And she has submitted to help take down those you see. Unfortunately, many other kinds of life forms lack some unusual means to hide from our scans. Otherwise, most of the life forms can be detected, which means he can give you the hands up. Then there are also phosphate and other such useful equipment. I was already aware of some of the potential advantages in the party. I've seen it before, he remarks. But again, I repeat, why send an unsafe civilian with us? Whatever she can do, or what I take told her, she will do as well. No more. Whatever she can do, they can do better.
This is a long paragraph as he explains his reasons. But the whole paragraph is on the screen. There.
Yeah, I was looking at that qualitative.
You might occasionally need to highlight some lines so you make sure you don't lose your place as you proceed to this one.
I mean, there, so I want to see some reasons why I can see where I am. Because I was saying her to, because A, she's more than willing. B, she is more useful to this party during this particular mission. C, can be a means to communicate back and forth between us, which means further resources can be deployed as necessary. D, you have all already met her and developed a mental rapport with her. She you like before, after all. So that means there is a much higher chance of deep cooperation. Usually you would be starting from scratch if I assigned a stranger in your set. E, is also I can spare. Finally, F, even though among them all, I just do all to keep her safe in return. Whatever whatever training she likes you have. You faced the Moriarty Chaos creature for quite some time by yourself. One of you even did it solo for a while. Yeah, and one was not part of interference. Wait. Just a minute. How do you know that part?
Well, probably Margaret reported that to him.
But Moriarty wasn't there then yet.
That's right. They did verbally tell her a little bit of the story along the way to those above palace thing.
No, how I interpret this is that either Moriarty was already there for a while in cooking device mode, just looking at if they are capable of doing anything, just looking at what are they into that, or two, they have actual footage of them doing things.
Well, all of that could be correct. It is within his capabilities of him and his society.
But yeah, let's continue. Because they don't say anything back. If they don't say anything back, then they will not of this either. That will probably mean that they taught him. He said a better expect not to that I knew. Believe me when I say I don't have many other personnel at my disposal. I can do for education. With ease. With the ease that you need. And with the resources you had. I was a few very important indeed. But very few of them have had actual combat experience like you all have. Whatever shortcomings she has, the rest of you can make up for. And you will commit whatever he thought. You have to keep her safe, right? I mean, I do have one other pony who could probably be able to do it, but he is on a different task. His name should be Dr. Camelhelm or something like that.
He knows the way.
He knows the way. Absolutely. Something easily is. One thing the others is my thing. One else of you, which includes the confidence and determination you exude. I believe that it may be hard to find another pony who can do the job better than you. Commander, there is no reason to spread them on a plan. You don't have to be so smooth in that. Oh yeah, you are good. I respect you, and you too. Commander said with a lot of respect to something. I start putting my faith in you all to let her. Don't let me down. Then the Swing said to Commander Ashton. Alright, you come with me on one condition. But he said that Commander regards her very seriously. You must probably impress upon her that I am the leader of this party. Whatever he does, he must obey me instantly, because whatever order I give her, the expedient response might save her life, or that of the party, and result in the success of this mission. So from what I see, all the daring do is the one that is a little bit distrustful of Commander reactions. While serving is literally eating out of the palm? They don't have palms. Out of his hoof. How do you say the bottom part of his hoof? Does it even have a name? It probably has a name, but I don't know. Ah, the soul. There you go.
SOLE?
Yeah,
Okay.
kinda. Soul.
I didn't know any part that was called a frog. That's a new one on me.
Yeah. Yeah, get my phone. Naturally. Commander replied, I'm surprised that I even needed to make this point. I want to apprise her of the situation. He knows the respect flag. He knows that you are in charge. The rest is up to you. Prove that you are in charge by being attentive about it. You fall in line. You will continue to give off an air of authority like you're doing right now. Well, madam, they accept Excellency's status slightly. In this case, if there's nothing further, we will take it as soon as she arrives.
Yeah, now the music can shift. If you want to.
So, that I know right now. On this song. I'm pretty sure we don't want happy music right now. Probably calm.
I would say yes.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be loud. Just background music.
Sure.
Then we are to quickly shifting landscape around them with discomfort. As she, at the party, which now includes Morgan's vessel, continued to rapidly travel through the air of the floating disc and somehow catch an inertia, slow standing on.
I don't know if you've ever seen shows like Star Trek where they did talk about a certain technology called inertia dampeners. Um,
Yeah?
for a while, I did not know what that meant, but it was that they traveling through space at super speed whenever they're going at warp drive. If they did not have inertial dampeners, they might go splat against the wall as soon as the thing moves. It's especially important if they hit atmosphere of some planet where other kinds of gravitational forces take over. It's like supposed to be shock absorbers on a car, so that the journey is more steady.
Yeah, this is why you need
Oh, big time. They really didn't have inertial dampeners, or at least not severe enough to keep up with that speed during that moment. But the commander did warn him it was an experimental speed there.
yeah.
They haven't tested.
Do you think that I would put on this one?
My brains are going into my feet.
But yeah, there is no inertia in there.
Hmm.
As she continues to examine this, he feels something is wrong with her god, in her god. Probably because of the inertia. It is so persistent, she eventually shakes her head and asks aloud for the decision. Alright, he is down to land. Right now. There is no other. Really? Well, that's confusion. But we haven't arrived at the Earthbound capital yet. And I don't think that the live signature is anywhere near the facility. We probably have a long way to go from here. Also, if Dragonor go fly in their camp, they will immediately say that, okay, you are all part of the Magi and we will not even talk to you.
Yeah. Do you believe that's kind of basically what Daring's thinking right now?
I don't know if that's what he's thinking. That might be just...
Okay.
It might have been her picky senses thinking.
Okay.
And it gives a firm look at Margaret over her right shoulder. And she said, I thought we have all agreed. He would instantly obey my orders whenever I give them. Ah, okay. In confusion, her ignites with the imperfect energy. Something under her every coaster beams in response. The activity I got downwards after that. On the way down, looking back and daring, as she said. Okay, we are on our way down now. Can you explain what this is all about? What are you talking about? Why are you doing that? We are on our way down now. No. Land right now. Immediately. I didn't say go down slowly. Land.
Well, this thing apparently can't just suddenly teleport to the land. It's on its way down. That's kind of what she meant.
But we have established that it is fast.
Hmm.
So if it can go fast left and right, it should be able to go fast up and down as well.
You're probably right. And thanks to the force field and inertial cancellation, it'd probably be just as safe to zip down at very high velocity. Of course, you probably want to stop before you hit the ground, or otherwise, you might be fine, but you're going to burrow through the earth. There was a cool movie back in the 80s called Explorers, where some kids did, through their dreams, got ideas for alien technology, which they did
Ah,
to create a force field around um, a spaceship they constructed out of something like you might see in a fair that's kind of a half circle and it spins around. Um, well, they constructed something to the forward part of it to enclose it. But yeah, the real way they travel was to have the force field encapsulate around it, and then it flew around, even through the Earth. Just nothing could stop it.
we have the ultra force. And now they meet the unmovable object. I'm curious too. The very great. I thought we wanted to do this quickly, and Margaret's resources have made that possible. What did I say as well, right? I mean, they think that, they mean that, Margaret's resources can go there fast. But I literally said that, but they can land immediately.
Right. Margaret's argument here was the fact that not only can you get there quickly and safely, but more accurately, because she has sensors too to help detect them.
But this also might have been a test of my dying as well. to see if she actually obeys
She could, yeah.
immediately.
That is, she's kind of failing right now. Not completely. She is going down, but she did question her.
Yeah. What can come on that likes people who are actually asking why?
It was established that she is a civilian, not a trained soldier that's accustomed to instant obedience.
Even at my workplace, I tell them if something is wrong, but I still know the thing.
Okay.
But this is the wrong approach. Like said Murphy. Remember, we are not just assigned to simplify the Earthbound, also win their cooperation and trust. That are the face their teammates, but also taking your hand. And I don't think we can do that by flying at them on an internet like some arrogant zombie god from the sky. I heard that. When you said that, I immediately thought of him.
This time, I gotta admit, I didn't know what you were gonna pull up. But I accept it.
An arrogant zombie god from the sky flying down.
Well, he comes from even further out than that, but I still accept that.
I mean, for most people, anything that comes from above is from the sky, so.
Hmm.
It's kind of approach.
Then you can give the same argument to the Saiyans, too.
Yeah?
Except the ones that were born on the planet, like Gohan. And he's part human, too.
Funny enough, with more human blood, the bloodline became stronger.
Yeah, that's actually why it's Gohan doesn't have the spiky hair like their Saiyan race usually do, or that kind of fixed hairstyle that's hard to move. Notwithstanding.
No, they don't have that super hair. It's just from some child. This would be a mess.
Seems like it, doesn't it? But even when they fight or fly at high speed, their hair barely moves. It got me to the point where I'm almost convinced that Kakarot's hair can actually stab someone. I have seen it wave in the wind, but just barely, like at the edges of his hair. There you go. That's an image.
I mean, at least that one actually had a reason why it was floating. And it's not floating.
That could be a weapon.
Use it as a spear. This kind of approach is most likely why those above have felt that there are such tactics before. This is just not a risk they are setting on. It's relatable to them. If we want to win their cooperation, we have to develop a rapport with them first. To do that, I think we need to be respectful and approach them on their terms. That makes a lot of sense to me, and I will agree. I mean, that's most illogical but also in instinctual sense. Telling about our approach so far don't sit right with me either. Emotions as she looks down a bit. But I was too shy to bring it up. She looks and dying. Now, I wish I wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't change the fact that her dying would stop them.
Probably not, yeah.
Then doesn't expect Pedro, as she says to him. Then you win. I have also far and wide in my time, and met many kinds of other cultures along the way. Some of those I met in the past seem to be similar to the ones we are seeking. Unlike those above, those we are seeking now are foreign of the land. They are more grounded and connected to nature. Such types usually have more special too. The more and size tend to be more important to them, and we are only starting off on the word proof. If we present ourselves with the word symbolism, correct it, we have to approach them on that level. I mean, we don't know how they live. They might be grounded, but what if they have magic about technology?
Yeah, they don't know that's true. It's There's two things that's Daring's basing this off of. First of all, her instincts, which was her gut feeling, and secondly, by comparing them to what similar societies based on what she knows so far.
I mean, there's two sides. They can be, I mean, they can be just normal ponies. They can be very technological advanced, and they can be.
Groovy, man.
I'm gonna assume it's the third one. Until we see them. They do look over her shoulder, but she says they have arrived to the land. Or I'm floating a few inches above it. And seeing this, she noticed a satisfaction that looks back at Margaret, and she says to the gamer, okay then, and the castle is bad. She just to around this, they are standing on. We proceed to rest on the way, rest away on the roof. Once again, Margaret did not land. They,
Technically, you're right. They're a few inches above it.
yeah. I have a better alternative. Margaret offers and proceeds to dominate a barrier around one side of the hexagon they are standing on. The tree is open now. All of you step off from there, and then I will get at this path. Otherwise, we will end up falling a few inches instead. That's probably not dangerous per se, but I might be a little startling if it's not up roughly. That's why I said to land. Even better, like again before the opposite step of the floating platform. I promise, Morgan can tell a spell after that. Morgan looks at Larry too with uncertainty. As she starts to order map. Are you sure about this? We might have to turn a very long way from here. During which time, we will be more exposed to the element as we continue. And my possession includes nature. I mean, nature is my middle name. And then he's like, I thought it was Agate. Good.
Actually, her real middle name was Yearling.
I know.
Yeah.
Or she changed it around.
Right.
Good. Then it says to the firm not to Margaret. Why did I think that it is a tone of a very different poetry of person?
What do you mean by that? Maybe you can show me. Careful of that highlight too. It's not exactly where you left off.
I have no idea why in my mind I heard that.
If I dragged it out with a few more O's, then I'd probably agree with you.
Because all of those things are what Earthbound have to live in every day in the day of their lives. And they see us approach them in that way, then it will show them that we are willing to expose ourselves to the same challenges and this that they face. That we are brave enough to approach them in that terms. And in turn, will help us win their respect. To face them properly, we must show them that we also know the way. By doing so, they should consider it a sign of respect. And I'm not gonna pull up the thing you think. I'm gonna pull up something else. There you go. Hey man, no one may respect them. Why are you taking it back by dying his wrath as she expects? The way? Wow. You sound just like they do. Yeah, yes, I do. The memorial said that he was unaware that the term Lias was only presented to the TARDIS crew, briefly from Commander Merrick's first. Now the change in Lies' parent point though. Exactly. That's what we need to do. Be identifiable to them. Their presence. To that end, from now on, we use none of our advanced technology, or at least something they can that they can access themselves. That means no more throws. What do you have throws? Very honest. And she passes from Luke and Dr. Kelly. I'm not saying for you to get rid of them, but keep them invisible. And do not employ them any further. Especially not in their presence. As we can be certain when and how they might show up. It's best to keep them offline, if you can. Can't. Okay. But can I accept? I have a way to show them. And none of your weird stuff either. Saying all that Margaret. Am I clear? Morgan notes as she said, "While I'm a bit scared to admit this, we probably knew sentimental chance of succeeding in this mission. If we don't admit the tactics that probably covered us fair before. In hindsight, I'm starting to realize how the kids want to expect different results by everything was other than work. You would be surprised. You would be surprised how many things that like a PC doesn't work. You try everything, and then someone comes here, perhaps not the same thing that you did, and it works for them.
The computer said, "Well, I liked him better."
Yeah. That is actually a funny thing that it's a thing. I mean, if you think about like a dog, random person tries to give them food, they might not accept it. But if it's the owner, they will definitely accept it. It's the same thing, but not really. just by changing who are trying it, they already have different variables in this scenario. So we don't know if it will work or not.
Kind of had a smarterings of a saying in my head about what changes in every situation is you walked into the room. That's why it's different.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Daring and everyone else that they should probably work. But what I looked at in Atlanta is a discomfort. If we keep all the technology off, we will benefit from it either. Look back at Daring. Some of them are very useful, maybe also critically essential. That's where we draw the line here. I assume all bets are off in the life of that scenario situation. I will tell you what to do when we get there. I'll let you know when and if we can tell them all again. Yep. Thank you for Margaret. For now, it's very important that we keep them off. That's our mission, the manually. This also means we will get there much more slowly, or get counted. Is it important? At this point, in those place, I would get a little impatient with Margaret. Because the first thing they agreed on is that he's gonna follow orders without question. Which was not said out loud, but it's part of the thing.
From Margaret's perspective, she's been relying on the technology a lot. And she might be thinking, what if Daring's unaware of this factor or this factor?
I mean, maybe Margaret will actually learn something that, oh wait, with the technology I can just actually enjoy the scenery.
Oh yeah, that could happen. But you might realize initially why she might be nervous.
Remember the stupid thing that's like, would you be willing giving up every technology you have, like the internet, the PC and everything, for a year for X amount of money?
Daring's almost in the opposite perspective, though. She has gone out to the wilds, the adventures with whatever works, you know? Having to rely on her resources and ingenuity to get through his various adventures. So, yeah, this is not a situation she's going to panic about.
And it's funny how you said it. Yeah, Daring is a little bit different in this scenario because she has gone. I think we are working with unlimited time limit for now. And I mean mixed up. I mean, yeah, there is no time limit because they haven't met with the Earthbound yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And who knows if they are already watching or not. I mean, yeah, we know that you have the technology that could actually tell them that they are here. But what if they have the technology to be hidden from your technology?
Viraxis admitted that their technology is not foolproof. That there might be some creatures out there with unusual abilities that may be able to avoid the detection.
Yeah? I mean, if we bring up the first Doctor, the very first episode, they were using some kind of leather or whatever to be hidden. The other side of the Daleks, I don't remember their names. The mutants, and they were just hidden.
I think they're called Thulls. Thulls.
Probably, yeah. So, I imagine something like that. And I assume that they are all watching.
From what I recall from that episodes, they were peaceful, but they admitted they used to be warlock.
Yeah. We should be okay. For the moment, I think it's more important that we go slower. With many success rather than rushing in and falling. And failing. I mean, falling too. Some of us do have some recent wilderness survival experience too. Halloween, not Halloween. Serving announces. It's experience too while you're here. I keep you all safe, of course. Don't worry. Take a shot. From now on, we will employ our own personal technology. He said with a gesture to herself. Just like the Earthbound do.
I do believe you misread the first sentence. I'll keep you all safe and on course.
Oh, I had of course.
Yeah.
I mean, every way is going to Rome.
Well, remember, she was the one with the compass key mark, too.
Yeah? Personally, I hate to do anything that increases our security. And morning that you can have us remain safe. Having command. I mean, how long does it take to employ it?
It's not known now, but probably pretty quick.
It's bad, so
Yeah, it turned off pretty quick.
it never turned off faster than going down. But it also makes so much sense to me why a new testing is more likely to result in success. If you wanted to take something safe, you would never step out of the toilet. Not a big jump. No, if you wanted to take something safe, you would have never stepped inside the toilet. What's the truth of the toilet in the first place? But no, that comes for you. You had to go to the toilet.
Right. There was greater danger outside the TARDIS at the time.
Yeah. Most you and look so what others joining him on that machine would lead us to an adventure on the dark side. I don't see the point of complaining about the race now, after making those kind of informed choices a while ago. I think you missed a space here.
Yeah, Grandma also usually tries to make that same point too, but that word does exist, and I don't know exactly when we're supposed to apply it.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit here. You missed that word. I know it exists, but it has a different meaning.
Anyway, I went ahead and made the changes.
Yeah, generally, a while is an adverb and a while is a noun for the proposition. Yeah, if it's a while ago, then it is with space. There we go. It was camera things. Because they remained impossible. It said, and we also how harmless that town was. And yeah, we also how harmless this place was. As well. Adventure is what I use my question mark for. They do nothing. Give me a while to learn that. But here I am. And we are glad to have you. And to know you. And I've been sent to learn carefully. Lead on, my friend. I head off. And we... You don't know if we know this, but the story has been here for a while. So... Margaret is really not good at following orders.
Well, for the moment, that's kind of true. She's like more of a scientist, and she's used to asking questions.
All I can say about this chapter is that I am happy that they are choosing to go on hoof.
Okay.
I really thought that they would just go down and then go on hoof to begin with. Unless, I mean, even if the Earthbound have a landing spot for them, it shows some respect that, yeah, we are going on hoof. We know the way. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, Halloween and Dorothy are the most likely to be actually be able to talk to them. Because
Sure, but according to this chapter, apparently Daring Do also knows the way.
they might know the way, but the Earthbound might not follow her.
Mm.
Because she is in power among the group. We don't know how they are yet. We have not seen them. We have not been talking about them. All we know that is they are lower technology level than the Magi.
Well, yeah. From their end of the story, they're a decently large question mark.
And I mean, if we would meet an alien right now, they would tell us that, we are low technology level. We humans. It really depends on what they are comparing to. For all we know, the Earthbound might have supercomputers, and that is still low level technology for the Magi. So
Well, Varaxis did mention the fact that they do have some new mysterious force that the those above don't quite understand. And around that same time, the attitude they had towards those above had changed.
I know what the force they have. I know now what they have. And I'm gonna laugh if it is something like this.
I went ahead and made changes to the document to include all the suggestions you had.
Do you think you can guess what I'm gonna bring up?
Well, from what I can see from the small windows, some kind of gems. Oh, chaos gems from the
Yeah,
Sonic universe. Okay.
this is something that wait, no, the chaos gems should be very familiar to Magi. I'm stupid. They are actually using gem magic to begin with,
Oh yeah, very much so, but typically not that powerful.
but they still know how gem magic works, so it
Oh yeah,
can't be
very
that.
much so. There still is a possibility that Dr. Kelly managed to commune with the red crystal because of the method she used to employ, or maybe it's her bloodline, or
Yeah.
both.
So yeah, we don't know what they have at the moment.
Something that those above don't understand.
The way.
Yeah, they have the way. So yeah, what did you think of this chapter overall?
Hmm. I still don't trust reactions fully.
Okay.
I'm denying doing that. Margaret little bit mental mind out from all the questions. I I know that she's curious about why I do this, why I do that. But in a scenario when you are told to do what they tell you, then you do it. And she failed the test of land immediately.
For now, yeah. Her attitude might change later.
It's gonna be funny if she said that, oh yeah, I can land right now, but you know there's an accident lake after under us right now, so we should move a little bit further.
If that was true, that would have been worth mentioning. Yeah.
And that, do we? No, you didn't say where they landed. On the ground, but
Yeah, somewhere on the land that's solid enough for them to stand on. I'll tell you for myself, I personally find this chapter to be the lowest point of the whole arc. Mainly because of the repetition that occurs here, but still too vital to take the chapter out. Because the decisions they made here affect the rest of the chapters. I cannot get rid of it because of that.
yeah,
And maybe you agree. Because this explains why they're making a different approach from now on. At least when it comes to the Earthbound. I probably did a few trimmings here and there to cut back on the repetition of this chapter, but it still happens a lot that there is some repeating because, I guess mainly because of Margaret, actually. A little bit argumentative there. Because of her concerns, and because she sometimes thinks, what if Daring doesn't know this?
I mean, this is why this chapter is very important.
Make it side. Coming. We'll remember that? Clementine?
It is choices that they made that will forge the way forward, and they cannot pull back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Um, does it make any sense to you why Daring of all opponents here is among those who would realize the error of their previous ways, their previous tactics? Actually, Featherwind, too. He also had the right instincts.
Hmm. I mean, we don't know if it's the right decision. Yeah.
Right. But you're on board with this, as you
And,
said. You,
and
you,
yeah,
you agree that they probably have it right. Yeah.
even if they go there and they are happy that, yeah, they know the way, it might not be because of the event, because the event of who. It might be because it's not a magi who is visiting.
Something else this story establishes is they do have access to more resources, but the story is also explaining why they're choosing to keep it off, and that goes for Dr. Kelly too. It's going to affect both of them, Margaret and Kelly. I mean,
Uh,
pretty much all of her spells that on Dr. Kelly is technology
And so
in
it's
a way.
funny how Those, Commander Reactors could have been easily just giving them a walkie-talkie. And that's not all the same things as Margaret.
He established in the last chapter that he didn't always see eye to eye with the Doctor, which also implies he's aware of that character, but admits that those who follow the Doctor tend to win in unconventional ways. Ways that Varaxis himself might not normally think about. As for Varaxis himself, he's probably a straight by the book kind of character. Follow the law, do it in a set pattern, a set way. The way the military trained him.
Yeah. And what he tried didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically why he's reaching out to these characters. Because they're new to the Earthbound 2, and they have a reputation for success in ways that doesn't match his style. It's at least a test to see what if it works. I'll give them a try and see. Everything I've been doing is failing, so let's see if they have any better luck.
Yeah. Or it could be a trap. I mean, no. Obviously, if he wanted to kill them or do anything with them, he could have done that.
For what it's worth, he also admitted that Margaret here is not exactly a spy because he was upfront about why she's there. But yeah, he did want to be kept tabs on, so that as the mission continues, to get reports about how successful or failure it's been so far.
Wait.
But
I just realized they close of every technology. That means Margaret cannot send any reports back.
Yep. She's got to turn it back on in order to have any chance to communicate with Varaxis again.
But she cannot do that.
Yep, at the moment she's under orders not to. And you'll notice towards the end, she started to admit that Daring might have a point. Everything we tried before kept failing. What if this is why? That is to show that she has that scientific curiosity that goes both ways, to willing to ask every question, including in other directions.
Oh no. It's gonna be this all over again.
While you might have a problem with her about being hesitant, she was also cooperative, eventually.
Margaret is gonna be all over going, do I follow them? Or do I follow my orders from up above? I still believe she is the best character, or best person, or best pony.
I accept that. Bet you believe that.
And then you're actually laughing in the background and knowing that she's actually evil witch or something like that.
It's actually pretty typical of a Doctor Who adventure as well. I probably can't write off My Little Pony either. Usually, in most Doctor Who adventures, someone in the mission is the antagonist and someone is helpful. Or at least they try to be.
One thing I am sure of, that Hammer is not the one who is making the things. The Chaos Monsters.
The Chaos Beasts? Okay.
No,
Well,
she's just summoning them.
Well, that's what those above believe, is that the Trouble is responsible.
I'm pretty sure even Discord cannot create something from nothing.
There are people that wonder that you're right. It might merely be either summoning stuff or moving through dimensions. Like going to a place where whatever you wish for is always been a reality.
I mean, I did say most of this called magic is illusion.
That's another thing. Yeah. If you craft illusions, you can make it anything you want.
I mean, think about the texture chain. What if it was
Still,
just water and you were just thinking it's texture chain? It tastes like chocolate, it feels like chocolate, feels like chocolate, but not.
it's funny you could call the Discord's powers an illusion, though, because of what he said to Trixie. Well, you'll still be a self-absorbed third-rate illusionist.
Yeah. I mean, we know Trixie in the texture. He was never a magician.
I almost agree with you until you said that last part. I do think she has it within herself to be an entertainer, um, and that being a magician is one way to approach that.
Sorry.
Not, not really the greatest magician, but she does have some talent.
Sorry. He's not a mage, but a magician. That's what I
Ah,
meant to mean.
okay. So mage, wizard, spellcaster, all of that. Well, I would say she's dabbling in that. Even from the first episode, I saw her do some things that I've not seen every unicorn pull off, such as animation magic of the rope, somehow wielding rainbow itself, uh, the light spectrum, in addition to rainbow, actually, um, and summon lightning once. So she knows a few handful of spells, and probably got a little bit better later on, with Starlight's training. I would not. I'm far from calling her a master of it, but she was able to transform stuff and teleport. What you got there? I'm known as a magician, but that's just a ruse. I'm actually a mage. Dun dun dun.
When I played this game, I made a total Trixie about when I saw her.
Wouldn't it be interesting if there's other examples in the world that's true? Someone who pretends to be a magician is an actual real mage.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah. Strangely, that actually might be a pretty good place to hide your talents, while at the same time displaying them.
Would you display your magic if you had one?
I would say it depends upon the situation.
If not warranted.
If it's not what?
Not warranted. Not a dangerous
Not needed?
situation.
Well,
Just
it's
for fame.
still, it might be yes. I mean, sometimes it can be convenient. And other times it might be essential. Like you're in the freezing cold, but you have a spell that can warm you up. That would both be a comfort issue, but it can also potentially be a survival issue.
Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe you
that,
have you might have another spell that makes things fun, or flavor food that would otherwise be terrible tasting into something that's wonderful.
hmm. I mean, I meant to say, would you show off your magic?
Again, it might depend, but by default, no. I might have a need a bigger reason for it, unless it was common in the world and there's just no reason to hide it.
I mean, that's about the problem to begin with. That
Right.
yeah, magic is too come on. Everyone can do it.
From what I can tell, the thing that really got her in trouble was being caught lying about at defeating the Ursa Major. From a personal standpoint, she also got infuriated and embarrassed about being outshone by Twilight.
I mean, she actually believed it was an Ursa Major.
Yeah, she did. She was less educated than Twilight was.
But yeah. So we don't know the way. They do not the way. And now Mario doesn't know the way either because she doesn't have her GPS anymore.
Well, now she might need to learn the way because she's got nothing else to rely upon. You gotta be thinking about that from her perspective. If she cannot rely on their technology anymore, learning the ways of these characters who can live off the land better is gonna become essential to her.
I
That could be
imagine
a big that could be a big push for her.
I imagine them pulling out a map, a normal paper map, and she asking, "What is that?"
But to Margaret, she might ask that. Yeah, it's so primitive that she could be actually unfamiliar with it.
I mean, if she looks at it, she might actually realize that, oh yeah, it's a map.
It's probably wouldn't take too long to figure it out. True. Any predictions you have for the next chapter?
I mean, as I said, I do believe that the Earthbound are already watching.
Okay.
And even hiding some, with some, like that, that's why they didn't show up. So,
Alright.
two things can happen. They might just follow them and let them come to the village. Or they might ambush because they saw them flying down.
Now they could do it. They're not protected by that force field anymore. Which, as Margaret said, means they're exposed to every other danger that the land has to offer. And in this land, there's fewer dangers than usual because there's so much harmonic energy, but it's not immune to danger.
What came to mind is this.
For the Earthbound?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you're probably right.
I mean, we don't
Alright.
even know if you can actually communicate with them. Just because they are pony, they must talk a different language.
Um, I could see why you might think that,
Oh
but
wait, no. They have the TARDIS translation. I forgot
well,
about that.
there's that. But would Varaxis necessarily take that into account? He may have also sent them because he knows they have a chance to communicate, because they can do it too. It wouldn't make sense for Varaxis to send them if he knows it's absolutely no chance they can communicate with them.
I'm gonna imagine that the Earthbound will have the common language that they were using to communicate with the Magi, and also having their own language as well. And they will
That
be
could be a.
surprised when they
You
are.
might be right. So when they're around those above, they can actually still communicate with their own secret language. But the TARDIS crew would be able to get the translation either way.
Yeah. And this will be even further proving that they know the way.
Right. Okay, so you want to wrap up this video?
Yeah. Because I've been working today only 5 hours, so
By the way, your voice is pretty good for now.
no, it's not.
All right.
I don't know if
Oh, well,
how much you can hear it. It has been very raspy the whole time.
I wouldn't say very, but I have noticed some during this reading.
But yeah, that's one full chapter. It's been
Thank you.
almost 2 hours.
That's typical for us when we're busy reading it plus discussing it.
And I am not sure if I will be able to do it on Sunday, which is Saturday for you.
Okay.
I will tell you in advance.
Thank you.
But now I'm gonna leave. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Do you know the way?
Yes, I do, obviously.
I noticed that was Bamboo probably using his shape-changing powers to make that head, but
Yep.
Discord's in the corner too, so he's another potential culprit, or at least the cabbage head.
And if he was, then Kamala wouldn't even notice that his had changed.
Yeah, that's quite possible. And
And
that's why the Discord has that goofy trollish look like he doesn't know.
oh, maybe that's not Kamala, that's just another shapeshifter.
Or maybe that really is Cabbage Head.
Yeah. For all we know, these might all be just changelings. Have you ever thought of that?
Bamboo's not talking to the Cabbage Man. He's looking straight at us. He's asking us that question. Do you know the way? People who are looking at us.
I mean, the new have the nappy eye as well.
Actually, with all those lines around, that indicates he's shouting that very loudly.
But I am not gonna shout. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Alright.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.